Our first book today is called My First Day at School. I don't know if you can remember your first day at school. For some of us it was a long time ago, but I can remember when I first went to school and I carried my little school bag along to school, but different to your school bags though. So this is called My First Day at School. So Mrs. Caswell has chosen these stories for us today. Let me just pull up the chat so I can see what we're talking about if we need to talk. There we go, and that's hello. Oh, from Lucy in there and say hello. Here we go. On my first day, I dress myself. It's a bit like that song that we sing in Takutai. And I eat my breakfast. A bit mucky. I hope you don't eat your breakfast like that. I meet new friends. Nice. It'll be nice to see all our friends next week, won't it? I do finger painting. Lots of legs there for the octopus. I count to 10. It's like our counting collections, isn't it? Counting to 10, all the different sorts of eggs. Time for lunch. I've got still getting some strawberries off my strawberry plants at the moment, which is delicious. We run and play. All these animals, amazing. Lots of different ones that we don't often see, which is nice. And we listen to stories, just like we're doing now at Storytime. We listen to stories. Aren't they sitting up beautifully, those little rabbits? They look lovely, don't they? And then it's home time. Look at what the turtle's taking home. Goldfish. Oh, look. And there's Mama Duck come to pick up Baby Duck. So that's just to remind us we're going to be back at school soon. It's very exciting. Mihare flips her lid. If you get a moment, pop onto our Learning from Home website. And if you go into the whānau page, you'll see a really cool social story to read about what school's going to be like when you come back to our school on Monday. Mihare was a lovable kid. Doesn't she look lovely? But when things went wrong, she just flipped her lid. Papers would fly and her legs would kick, and the words she screamed out would just make you sick. Sometimes there are people who get a bit stressed, don't they? It happened one day, just out of the blue. She flew into a rage before anyone knew. It didn't last long and was very intense, but all ended quietly down by the fence. Look at that, someone's looking out for her. That's really nice. It all just began like an ordinary day. Her aunt dropped her off, but was not able to stay. So that's something that's going to be different when we come back to school next week, because mums and dads are going to have to drop you at the gate in the morning and they can't stay. So they'll have to leave you at the gate and you guys will go in and drop your bags off and things, but that'll be a bit different. Mary waved goodbye and the van drove away with John or Jack, Harry, Katie and May. A lot of people in their family van. Look at them all. Then, wouldn't you know it, they were just out of sight when some boisterous boys started to fight. They pushed and they shoved and they thought it was funny. But Mary's face crunched up and her eyes became runny. Then her tummy got sore and she started to scream, and inside her head she began to dream. And it's something to think about, because sometimes when we have people who are playing and they think they're having fun, sometimes it can be really upsetting for other people to see it. Outside she ran, hurling paints without fear, and blue, green, yellow, they went everywhere. As she flew past the door, she grabbed at the glue and poured it out over everyone's shoes. Oh my goodness. It's tricky, isn't it? Because it's really not her fault, is it? She's just a little bit overwhelmed. She plunged in the sand pit. She screamed a bad word. Fortunately, no parents were near to have heard. Sometimes the sandpit's a nice place to be when you're feeling a bit grumpy. At last, she collapsed in a heap by the fence, and the teacher came over, just a wee bit tense. Here's the teacher coming over. She picked Mary up and held her so tight. She said that the boys would not really fight. Mary's long sobbing quickly subsided, and the smile of the teacher and her own smile collided. Isn't that nice? Then Mihare went back inside to clean up the mess someone tried carefully to hide. She rubbed and she scrubbed and she cleaned till it sparkled. By then she'd forgotten there was such a debacle. Debacle's a great word. When Auntie came back with a van full of kids, it wasn't worth saying that she'd flipped her lid. Mary just said she'd had a wonderful day and presented them all with a painting to say, although sometimes I struggle and still flip my lid, I'm actually really an okay kid. Isn't that cool? All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. So this has been created for us when we come back to school. This is called A Time for School, a return to school social story. It's time to return to school. Some things are the same, and some things may be a little bit different, and that's okay. So we might not have so much time on the mat, and there'll be people at the gate coming in and going out every day. I may be worried, and that's okay too, because it's all a bit different, and it might be the first time you've been away from mum and dad for a whole long time, and that's okay. I'll get to see my teachers again, and they're looking forward to seeing you. And I can tell an adult if I'm upset. So if you're worried at any point, you can tell an adult and they'll help you. I'll get to see my friends again, and that will be super cool. We like that. I will remember not to pop their personal bubble. So we need to stay out of someone's breath space. So out of breath space, find a new place. I'll have morning tea and lunch at school. And I'll need to clean and dry my hands often. So we're going to have soap and paper towels at school, and we're going to have hand sanitizer at school, so you'll be able to keep yourself clean really easily. I'll sneeze and cough into my elbow, and there will be lots of things for me to do. And lots more to do. I know I'll be safe at school. Nice book, hey? So that's very cool. Well done, Mr. James. Awesome job. Right. Oh, we've got another George and the Dragon. We like Georges and dragons, don't we? George's dragon goes to school. Righty-ho, George's dragon. I don't know that we'd like any dragons at school. Let's not bring any big dragons. Or you can bring a little dragon, but let's not have any big dragons at school on Monday. That'd be crazy. Brilliant news, Sparky, George told his pet dragon. Next week is Bring Your Pet to School week. Everyone will love your fantastic fire-breathing tricks. You're sure to win the best pet trophy. Super duper, said Sparky excitedly, and he began practicing his favourite tricks straight away. Whoosh, sizzle. No, we don't want them at their school. Sparky knocked the cushions again, cried George's mum. Is it safe taking Sparky to school, George? Perfectly safe, right, Sparky? Smiled George. And Sparky nodded. Smash! His head bumped into the lampshade. I don't think it'd be very safe having a dragon at school. All week long, George's classmates brought their pets to school. On Monday, Emily's hamster Muncher could squeeze 14 peanuts into her cheek pouches. Splendid, smiled their teacher, Miss Perks. On Tuesday, Sunita's kitten Fluffy jumped through a pink sparkly hoop with just a little bit of help. Wednesday was doggy day. Callum's puppy ran round and round and round in circles, chasing his own tail until he got dizzy. Everyone marvelled at Rufus. He could count up to 3. It was a shame about Bozo. That reminds me of our mole story that we said the other day. But on Thursday, Amber's talking parrot Poppy had the class clapping wildly again. What's she saying? I speak Spanish, Japanese and Arabic. I wonder if Malak's watching today. The parrot could talk to Malak. My school friends have great pets, George told Sparky back home, but you are the best pet ever. Everyone is going to be blown away by you, and tomorrow it's Friday, it's our turn. George couldn't wait, neither could Sparky. It was hugely exciting. The following morning, George's dad handed out 2 school rucksacks, one for George and one for Sparky. "Don't let Sparky burn the school down," he joked, waving them goodbye. Gosh, we wouldn't want that, would we? Oh, hello, my luck. "Oh," gasped Mrs. Perks, "you've brought a dragon to school, George. Is he safe?" "Perfectly safe, right, Sparky?" George smiled. Sparky nodded and turned around, and thwack! His tail accidentally hit the table. Whee! The dusty old globe went spinning. "Oh, gasped Sparky, trying very hard to hold back a dust sneeze. What's he gonna do? Choo! Oh no. A huge flame shot from Sparky's mouth. The class nature display went up in smoke. "Sparky, sit down," ordered Miss Perks, and Sparky did, and Snappy broke the chair. "Oh no," cried George. "Oops, a crash," sighed Sparky, blushing bright red, and the class began to giggle. Oh dear. "George, please take Sparky home now," said Miss Perks. "We need to get ready for our swimming lesson." "But Sparky hasn't even shown his special trick yet," George pleaded. "Please, Miss Perks, we've been practicing it all week." "Oh, very well," agreed Miss Perks, "but is it safe?" "Perfectly safe. Right, Sparky?" replied George. Sparky nodded again. Oh dear, and the Planet Mobiles went flying. Poor Sparky. "Right," announced George proudly. "Sparky will now demonstrate upside down whilst drinking a glass of cherry pop, blowing fizzy red smoke clouds from his nostrils." Flip, flip, glug, glug, puff, puff, cough, gasp. "Help!" Oh dear, I think people are a bit lost. "Sparky," cried George, "that's not how we practiced it." "Smoky, choky whoops," squeaked Sparky. Suddenly, ding, 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 Sparky's smoke had set the fire alarm off. "Everybody out," shouted Miss Perks. "Remember our fire drill, children, and walk nicely to the swimming pool building." That's a very sensible place to go, isn't it, if it's smoky? Everyone got out calmly and safely, but at the swimming pool there was more commotion. "Somebody's accidentally switched the heating off," gasped the caretaker, "and the water's freezing." "Oh dear, children," Miss Perks announced. "I'm so sorry. That means our swimming lesson is cancelled today." "Oh," groaned the class. George looked at Sparky. Sparky looked at George. "Miss Perks," said George, "Sparky has an idea to help." "Is it safe?" said Miss Perks. "Perfectly safe. Right, Sparky?" smiled George. Sparky nodded and breathed in deeply. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Whoosh! Sparky heated up the pool with one huge, hot, fiery breath. "Oh, the water is toasty warm," the children cheered. "It's fantastic." Everyone loved whizzing down Sparky's tail and splashing into the pool. Even Miss Perks had a go. "Can Sparky join us for every swimming lesson?" the class begged. Said Miss Perks, but she was smiling. George was so proud, especially when Sparky was awarded the Best Pet trophy. Unfortunately, Sparky did get a little bit overexcited when Miss Perks handed him the cup. He accidentally breathed on it and melted the handles. Fortunately, George was ready with the fire extinguisher, so it was all perfectly safe in the end. I don't think Miss Perks is looking very happy though, is she? The end. Or is it? I think that George and Sparky are going to get into more trouble as they go. Righto, team. So tomorrow, our theme for story time tomorrow is books. I've got some lovely books. This one here looks a little bit odd. This book is out of control. I've got some beautiful books from our school library about books. So let's have a lovely story time tomorrow on books. And I will see you all tomorrow. Ka kite a popo. See you later.
Bye. Bye.